Okay. We're going to start off with finance, so the different careers that exist within finance. And today we have
Anne.
Yeah.
So, I'm the corporate events manager. So I manage from start to finish corporate events. So that could be anything from seminars to conferences, executive dinners, anything in the corporate world. Whenever there's an event, that's what I do.
Okay.
So I work mainly for a company called BlackRock.
BlackRock is one of the world's biggest leading providers of investment, advisory, and risk management solutions. They also provide asset management services, which is the service of increasing financial investments assets.
And I also have my own clients.
Oh, okay. So explain what corporate means for those who don't understand what.
So, all right. So if you take events as such, so you can have events in any scenario. You can have an event, for example, a wedding planner. That is an event manager who deals with weddings. You can have a party planner. They deal with social events, so on and so forth. So essentially, a corporate event manager means it's someone that deals with business-related events. So the corporate world. So not social, but business-related.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to actually do this, to pursue this?
Interestingly, I was actually at university studying to become an educational psychologist.
Oh wow.
Yeah, exactly. But whilst I was at uni, you look for a part-time job, whatever. I was looking for a job, and I actually started working as a part-time events assistant or events administrator.
Yeah.
And I was there throughout university working part-time, and I realised, my gosh, this is actually really well suited to my personality. I enjoy it, my skill set. So I stayed there until the end of uni, then went full-time, and then just stayed.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up here.
Nice. It's interesting because a lot of people study something and then they don't end up doing what exactly they spent 3 years studying for.
Yeah, that happens a lot, but I mean, I guess it depends on subject. So like I said, I've done psychology, and psychology is so versatile. You have so many different lines, right? So you've got business psychology, marketing psychology, so on and so forth. And because psychology itself is studying why people do the things that they do, I find that it's still relevant to me because usually in most companies, events falls under the marketing department, so it's all very relevant. But I completely get that. I know a lot of people that perhaps went to university straight out and then after realise, I don't actually want to do anything related to this. But I took a year out.
Okay.
I took a year out. I mean, at least the latter part of secondary school, I wanted to be an educational psychologist throughout college. So when I took the year out, it was still with the mindset to do that. But I wanted to make sure that I was in the right zone to go ahead and do it. I wasn't about wasting money or doing it just because everyone else was. So
you wanted to make sure, so you kind of coupled education with experience just to make sure this is...
Yeah, I mean, to be real with you, the reason I took a year out is because I needed to make money. I needed to make money. So that was a priority for me and my family at the time. But it just also meant that I didn't just follow the train and go to university because everyone else was. And when it was time to fill out, the UCAS form again?
Yeah.
Because the months have passed, it gave me that opportunity to think, okay, do I really want to go university? Do I really need to go university? So when I made that effort to fill out the form and blah, 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 I knew that, I want to go. So it wasn't just jumping on the train of this is what is expected of me. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So tell me the highs, the lows, good, the bad, the ugly.
Of event management?
Yeah.
Gosh, so it really does depend on where you work. So I work for, like I said, a company, and we are the world's largest asset manager.
Asset management is the service of increasing or decreasing assets. Assets, something with economic value that someone owns, like savings, an investment, resources, etc.
So because of that comes a lot of expectations, if I can say. I've worked in events in a number of different sectors. Like I said, I've worked in charity, I've worked in third party, all sorts of different types. But I think when we talk about the highs and the lows, it just depends on where you work. So for example, in a lot of cases, for example, I know that in my case, the the end result is always the client.
Exactly.
The client experience. Whereas when I worked for the charity, it was the end user, like the person that will, you know, benefit from that service. So it depends. If you work, when I've worked for some of my private clients who are maybe small businesses, theirs is it's the financials at the bottom line because they're trying to make money. So
Exactly.
as for the good and the bad, a lot of the bad, I wouldn't call it the bad, but the pressure points,
Right. Okay.
it depends on what the client is after. So you're aware, okay, this event, we need to drive revenue, we need to sell as many tickets as possible because this is what is important for that client.
Exactly.
Others, you're looking at, okay, let's hope that the feedback form is what it needs to be. Let's make sure all parts of it are moving as it should move. Are they happy with the catering? Does the venue make sense? Are we going to get a lot of people here if we're out in the sticks holding this event? What was the experience like? Oh, the branding, did the branding highlight the company enough? Will they leave with the right experience? So there's sort of the overarching things that you think about, but then there's always the day-to-day in events that can become ugly, I would say. It's highly pressured and there's no room for error.
Exactly.
There's no room for error, but however, it is fun. It is really fun. You get, you know, for example, even though I work in the financial services sector, it's not like boring at your, exactly, you know, I'm around, I travel a lot, I do a lot of site visits, I go on a lot of tastings. You'll find that a lot of, for example, experiences, as they would call it, or restaurants or hotels will offer you 3 days, free meals because they want you to then use that for their event, for your event.
Okay.
So there are a lot of perks out of it as well. And I guess it's really, if you're a social person, or, you know, you like to have your hands in a lot of pies, it works. So I guess it's different for everyone, but yeah, I don't know if I answered the question.
You did, yeah, because you know sometimes something that makes you want to, like, you know, I don't know, something that keeps you engaged or interested in your career. Sometimes it's the perks, and you want to know, we're like, what will keep me going? What will be new? What will be like the pros? Of course, you enjoy your job for what it is, right?
Yeah.
But then also having, like, you know, traveling out, tasting new foods, and it's for free. You don't pay. So yeah, no, these things are also key. As much as you're passionate about what you do, but you also want that extra excitement to it. So
exactly, and it is very, very rewarding in the sense of, you know, for example, those roles that, how can I say it? You see the start to end of what you have produced. It's like you're producing something. So you're working. If my event, for example, is on the 1st of August, I have something to work towards. And on the 1st of August, boom, there it is.
Exactly.
So I can see the result of what I've done, you know. And then, so it's nice. You can see, oh, I did that event. This was the outcome from it. So it's very tangible.
Exactly.
You know, some roles you're sort of just, you know, firing away, doing a good job, but you don't get to feel the end result, if you know what I mean. So that is very satisfying, especially when it's a very good event, there's feedback from it, and you get the outcomes that you wanted from the start. That's very, very rewarding. And another thing about events is that it's versatile. So, you know, anyone at the events will tell you that you're sort of doing the same thing, but the content changes, the client changes, and in itself that makes it more interesting because no two events are the same.
Yeah.
I would say I think it's important that you try to get your foot in the door in a sort of a workplace setting. Doesn't matter what sector it is, but or it can even be any institution, even if it's like for your university or whatever.
Yeah.
And the reason I say this is it's brilliant. It really is when people have their own sort of doing parties for friends or helping their friends who's getting married and doing that as an event manager. But you'll pick up so many other nuances that actually corporates are looking for when you get into an institution. You'll start to understand things from a different perspective, you know, what you need to prioritize. Because believe it or not, it's not always about, oh, but my friend likes blue, so everything has to be blue. You start to realize things such as, oh, actually, brand color is most important. Or, okay, this is not the time to contact people, or this is how to do things. So I'll say definitely try to get experience, no matter what entry level you start at in a corporate setting. And one thing I would say is events is not one of those things where you need to have, at entry level anyway, experience. You don't need a particular degree. The most important thing is your key skill. They're looking for things such as attention to detail. You cannot be making mistakes when you write people's names on invites, for example. Just communication skills, because because you're working with so many different people. You're working with the marketing team, the sales team, the event producers, the venue, caterers, everyone. So you need to be able to communicate. The ability to work under pressure. There will be a lot of pressure because people are demanding a lot from you constantly from start to finish of the event. So if you have those three things, work on it, invest in it, add upon it now, so that when you enter, you're going to already do very well. And then everything else you will pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, that's it. So there we have it, events management. If that's for you, something that you're interested in, we have the tips, the things to work on, pointers, everything. And yeah, that's it for today.
Thank you.
Bye.